We are live. We are live. We are live. Welcome, 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 welcome to the wrestling show that we have no name for yet. And we're going to continue to do this until we figure out the perfect one, or this might just be the name of the show.
The name of the show is the wrestling show that we don't have a name for yet.
Welcome. Yeah, I like it. It's long, but you know, it is what it is. Josh Tariff, my man, how you doing, sir?
I am hanging in there, my friend. You know, we got some interesting things going along the way. Saturday night's main event is now, at least this most recent one is in the past, and now we get ready for War Games, aka the battle to have a battle with Cena, and so.
Gonna be interesting.
We're get into all this, yes.
Yeah, gonna be interesting. Listen, a few things before we actually start the pod and talk about wrestling. I heard what you said on the new show, and really, I love the show, Mike and Josh. It's probably gonna start being my favorite show because it's
almost as creative of a title as our show.
Yes. Almost.
Yes.
You know, almost.
But,
you and Mike took shots at me.
What?
Okay. You took shots at me and was just like, oh, you know, Barry used to be a Cowboys fan. Now I want to clear this thing up. All right. I, sir, was a Cowboys fan and a Jets fan growing up simultaneously because I was a crazy kid. So you watch the Jets on CBS at 1 o'clock. And then by 5 o'clock, obviously the Cowboys normally play on Fox. So I always used to be able to watch both teams, and I had an affinity for both teams. When I grew up, I kind of gravitated more to the Jets just because I have a lot of family members that are Jets fans. I live in Queens. It's just advantageous to just engulf yourself into Jets lore, right? Once they went ahead and drafted Geno Smith, I left the Jets because I had told people 2 years prior, I said, Geno Smith is going to be the Jets quarterback. And everybody didn't listen to me. I said, the Jets are going to pick the worst one out of all the mobile quarterbacks that are out here. And if they do draft Geno Smith, I'm going to leave. So they drafted Geno Smith. I left and went to the Cowboys. Well, listen, 7-8 years later, I am back where I belong. I'm used to abuse, and it's better to be with the devil that you know than the devil that you don't want to be with, right? That's all I'm saying. So that's my story, sir, okay? I entered the fan transfer portal, and I went back home. That's all it was.
Okay, so then just to clarify, this trash that Mike supposedly brought up and informed me of was factual then.
Yes, but he just didn't tell the accurate story. That's all it was.
You guys have been talking
if
trash,
you're gonna bash me,
completely accurate.
Yeah, if you're gonna bash me, Mike Guido, get it correct. All right, I'm all right with the bashing. Just make sure the story is accurate.
I love how I'm now, just because now I'm on multiple shows, I'm suddenly the middleman behind all this trash.
You are definitely the middleman to send the message. Absolutely. I'm gonna use you to insult
you tell Mike Guido that I said this. Whatever, man.
Listen,
football, we got enough shows for that.
Absolutely. For all our wrestling fans out here, listen, man, like, share, and subscribe. We're going to be doing this weekly. And listen, just on a funny note, too, our predictions for Saturday night's main event were completely off. Completely off. Completely off.
Last week.
Yeah. Completely
I said,
off.
As much insight as I have, as much experience as I have, when it comes to predictions, I'm never right.
But listen, I was listening to I read a comment on, I think, one of the clips that I had posted on TikTok, and the guy was just like, yeah, this aged terribly on the spot. I said, absolutely. But hey, listen, this is what happens. This is why it's called a prediction, not a spoiler, like how Paul Heyman says, right? So yeah, lots to get into. Obviously, we have some new champions. Monday Night Raw gave us some interesting, progression into War Games and other stuff. Saturday night's main event. We're going to talk about that. So what do you want to start with, Mr. Tariff?
Oh, I mean, there are a number of things we could get into. Why don't we, since I think it's really going to be the the biggest ongoing story for the next month.
Ah,
Let's go into, you know, their time is now. You know, want some, come get some, one last opportunity to get a little bit of the, you know, match with John Cena that is not for any type of title or
yeah.
contendership, or crown or anything. But we're gonna have a tournament that people apparently care about.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about that.
All right. So you want to go ahead and did they announce the tournament contestants? Who we got?
So up to this point, they have announced the first 2 matches that will be on Raw, and then they'll announce a few more this coming SmackDown, and then next week announce the others. But the 2 matches that we currently have announced are Sheamus versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev versus Damian Priest. Now, as far as the matches on paper, both those matches sound like they'll be entertaining. I got no issues with these wrestlers in it. I personally feel that if you were, you know, obviously taking time in making, you know, the announcements for the matches, cool, you set the pace. You should have had at least one guy in the first batch of announcements be a younger guy or an NXT guy.
Yeah.
Again, I got no problem with these 4 people being in the tournament. I might have held off on maybe announcing one of these matches and set one of the others up that involved an NXT guy or something like that, as far as the first crop of announcements. Along with that, the thing that we really, really need in this, and it's not just from these first 4 people, it's from everyone that's going to be in this tournament. I don't care if it's solely for social media. I don't care if they were airing on a Raw, NXT, SmackDown, wherever. I need vignettes of these individuals explaining what this means to them. What's in it for them? Why they want to be in this tournament.
Yeah, that's
now,
good.
When it comes to Rusev and Sheamus, your story's already there because they are past feuds with John Cena. So that's easy. You can bring up the history with that. Boom. That explains them. Why does Damian Priest need to win this tournament and have a match with John Cena? Why does Shinsuke Nakamura need this tournament? I don't care if the reason is, you know, like, hey, he's my hero. He's the reason I got into wrestling. He's everyone's hero. I want to destroy him. He's going to get me on TV. He's going to lead me to a title shot. I can learn this from him. I'm doing this because a friend of a friend was a Make-A-Wish kid that he granted, and I should have been that wish. Like whatever the case might be. I don't care what the stories are, but we need to know, why does this matter to you that you're in a tournament that does not lead to a title shot?
And here's my kickback on that though.
Yeah.
Josh, right. It's a great idea because I do love it, but with a 16-man tournament, you might start getting the same type of answers. So how do you work around that? Right? How do you work around that?
You get creativity. You get creativity. Yeah. I mean, and again, and you could have someone, you know, just thinking of a random. Let's say Omos was in the tournament. Obviously, he better not be. But let's just say he was one of the 16 guys in the tournament. You know what his vignette would be? It'd be like, I have an opportunity of hurting 15 other people, not just physically, but ruin their dream of having a match with John Cena.
I like that.
Fine. Yeah. There's one guy, you know? And again, you're going to have people that have the storyline. Sheamus already is written. Rusev, it's already written.
Yeah.
This is in the tournament, it's already written. If Matt Cardona is in the tournament, it's already written. Carmelo's in the tournament. We touched on it last week, being that he's from Boston. Yes. That one is kind of already written. Yes. So you have a number of them that could already be in place. Then you get creative with the other half of the bracket. So what are your thoughts on A, the tournament happening as a whole, and B, these first 2 matches that are announced?
I love the tournament. You know, I love the fact that obviously they're gonna just put it up to whoever wins to face John Cena. That's fine. Um, I'm with you in regards to like the first couple of matches that they've announced. Like, just me being a fan of the product and me understanding where the storyline is gonna go. We know that 4 of these guys, maybe except Sheamus, right? The other 3 guys they're not going to advance very far. They're not getting past whatever. So it's kind of just like a filler thing. But I'm agreeing with you. I would love to see like a wild card younger guy that's in there that nobody's really expecting to be in the tournament, right? Because then now it brings intrigue into a matchup with that 4 set of people. So you take out Shinsuke, you put in a young guy, and it's just like, oh, okay, well, let me see how this works, right? Like the dynamic is a lot different. We understand this guy, but this new guy here, like maybe he does have a chance to be able to win a couple of matches, and who knows what happens. It just brings intrigue. When you
100.
have these 4 guys here, there's no intrigue here outside of just like you said, the nostalgia between Sheamus and Cena or Rusev and Cena. With the other 2, it's just like, okay, they're just in there, but if we were to play this out hypothetically, Damian Priest wins the tournament. You really want to see Damian Priest and John Cena for his last match? No. Like Shinsuke.
At this moment, no. Now,
Right.
again, depending on what story and how they build and what this relationship is and what it means to Priest,
Yeah.
then maybe you can convince me. But like today, right now,
No.
And it's not specifically on Priest. Realistically, it's honestly on all 4 of these people.
All 4, exactly. Yeah.
And I am with you. I agree with the thought because, you know, they mentioned in the Cena vignette on Saturday Night's Main Event where they also re-aired during Raw. They said Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and maybe even people that aren't even
don't work here. Yeah.
So that does open that door for what you want. I mean, how much more intrigued would you be if instead of Rusev versus Damian Priest, it happened to be Rusev versus Javon Evans?
Yeah. I'd be excited. I'd be excited.
I'm not thinking like Javon would win, but hey, a match we haven't seen, a very different clash of styles. Then, you throw, again, like I mentioned Cardona, because since he's like TNA and has been in NXT, Damian Priest versus Matt Cardona.
Right.
Okay. Intrigue, story, both from New York, all different things that you can throw in there. And again, but it's a unique setup of guys that, we have not seen this, especially on WWE TV.
Right.
So, lead to unique tournament. And because also, there are going to be some storylines involved. Yes. Damian Priest in this tournament. We know Aleister Black's going to be in this tournament.
Yes.
If Carmelo's in this tournament, we know Miz is going to be in this tournament. Right. Because they're going to still kind of fuel other stories.
Still build those,
which is good because you need to make sure other stories build from this. But so like, we already know at least one other person that's in this tournament since they announced Damian Priest, and that's Aleister Black. So now it's a matter of seeing, okay, well, what 2 matches are they going to announce this Friday on SmackDown? Will that involve an unknown? Will that involve an NXT person? And say if it's from one of those people who, quote unquote, don't work here, will they announce who that person is, or will they just say it's a mystery opponent?
Right. What do you think is better? Do you think it's better to announce it beforehand, or just call it the mystery, and then when the match comes, then that's when you get that pop?
It's a matter of who the mystery is to determine which way is good. Yeah. If that mystery person is Chris Jericho, yes, you want it to be a surprise.
Yes.
If that mystery person is Joe Hendry, yes, you want it to be a surprise. If that mystery person is some other random wrestler that maybe used to be in WWE and has now just been on the indies for a long time, is coming back, and name I can't think. Heath Slater, just random name I just pulled out. Jinder Mahal would be hilarious.
That's my guy.
If he was, and I love Jinder. You don't hate Jinder.
Yeah.
So, but like different things like that. Actually, now I mentioned, I think Jinder actually recently had like bicep surgery or something like that. I think
Oh,
he's
okay.
injured at the moment. Um, but yeah, you put people in there. Hell, I don't expect them to be in a match. Have them just come out to surprise introduce someone. JBL.
JBL
Is
or
JBL? He's the victim of the first title run from Cena.
right. Or
You know,
or you got my man Wade Barrett, right? Nexus.
they're sitting right there. Uh, he's got some bad news for you. He's in the tournament.
I've got some bad news.
So ultimately, the tournament's going to bring intrigue. Obviously, depending on how they build the War Games match itself, and Cena will have his own separate match at Survivor Series as well.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting where they end up putting the finals of this match on that card.
Yeah.
Likewise, obviously, we know that Saturday Night's main event for his final match. We know that will naturally be the last match on that show. But I do find it interesting. You are wrestling in a tournament that's on one of your big four pay-per-views. And to win that tournament, you get the chance to main event a Saturday Night's main event.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So wait and see. I mean, again, as long as the matchups and the way they set up the brackets, which of course we have not seen up to this point, up to this recording, as long as it keeps you guessing and you're not sure who would win. Because many times they put up a bracket, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that guy's winning.
Exactly. Yeah.
As long as we can't tell, because we're like, oh, well, he could, and he could. Then you can make it worth something.
Yeah, I agree. I think they should definitely have a lot of intrigue and a lot of confusion in the brackets to make people say, oh, well, I got this guy. Oh, but make people start to create their own stories and whatever it is, because now that's going to generate buzz. That's going to generate intrigue. That's going to generate a lot more interest in what you have there. And it's going to make the tournament even better than what it's supposed to be. So, we don't want to have it what's the word, telegraph. We don't want a telegraph type of thing where we can kind of look right through it and we know exactly who it is. So if John Cena has anything to do with it, obviously Paul Heyman can put whoever is going to have their hands on this thing. They need to make sure that they're running confusion and a whole bunch of offensive line your offensive line blocking here, so we're not realizing what the hell is going on. That's what I want. I want us to be arguing and say, nah, it's going to be this dude. Now here's why it's going to be this guy. Here's why it's good. As it gets closer, here's why it's going to be this is what you want. So I'm curious to see it. Not really fond of the first four, but obviously they have a plan, so I'm going to let that plan play out without being too negative about it because it just started. What else we got? Listen, I love Dominic Mysterio. I do.
Who doesn't love Dominic Mysterio?
I am so proud of this kid that he has made his own lane, because I remember when he came up, he was Rey Mysterio's boy and they were going ahead and doing this tag team, and it had a little bit of buzz for a while, and then it got stale because it's like, how long can you be able to do this? Obviously, Ray is very old, right? Well, not very old, but he's older. He's not going to be full-time as much as you want him to be. So where was Dom going to fit there? Where was his position going to be? Is he a believable character because he's so slight of build? He's tall, very slight of build. Is he a believable character? And we just didn't know where it was going until he figured out what he was. And man, like, I don't think that there's a better character in WWE right now in regards to that. He embodies what it is to like be this swarmy weasel. I'm just gonna cheat to win. You know, he reminds me of Eddie. Like, obviously, Eddie wasn't a swarmy weasel.
Well, like
but,
father, like son.
right, exactly. And it's just, you know, I'm really, really proud of the character and how he's built himself up, man, because he's standing on his own, and he has so many more years ahead of him to be really a main event guy, you know, because obviously, you know, when guys get older, they're going to go ahead and transform again, and he's going to be repackaged into something else, right? So, but it's just fun to watch. That it's just fun to watch him.
Once upon a time, everyone on any wrestling podcast, all, you know, like the inside reports, were all saying, get Dom off my TV and put him in NXT because he's not ready.
Right.
And was there a period of time where, okay, maybe he should not be in that position? Yeah, you can make the argument for it.
Yep.
The transition that they made, you had the feel-good moment of him coming in. You had the feel-good moment of father-son tag team champions. When they pulled the trigger to turn him heel, have him join the Judgment Day, then we're all just like, shock. All right, we're going to do something unique with him. But then there's always the big question, because once there's ever a big turn, the question is, awesome, now what?
Now what? Yep.
We got far more than what we bargained for with Dominic on this run. From his mic work improving to the crowd reactions. I mean, you know, there's been plenty of times where we could not even hear a word he said on the microphone. They were so loud.
Right.
To relationship storylines with Rhea and Liv and maybe Roxanne or Guy. He's, you know, but he's doing all these things. And then having the dissension with Finn Balor and the camaraderie, and then JD McDonough and Carlito and Damian Priest and AJ Styles and you name it. He's been working with pretty much everybody. And then, of course, you occasionally always just go back with Rey Mysterio, his supposed dad. And this past Monday on Raw, Rey made his return. Dominic was busy trying to cut a promo because he was successful in retaining his Intercontinental title at Saturday Night's Main Event. And there have been times where we have heard the crowd actually start getting behind Dominic.
Yeah.
So that's not a surprise. What was surprising was the crowd on Raw in New Mexico was more behind Dom than a returning Rey Mysterio.
Changing of the guard.
And Dominic now, while still a heel, obviously sneaking, finding ways to win during the match. So very smart during the match, and then doing things very stupid backstage that seemed to blow up in his face or his Judgment Day cohort's face. He is acting exactly like the last 5 years of Eddie Guerrero's career.
Yes.
Where we boo him, but we cheer him. He does heel stuff, but we love him. We still buy his merch, but we want him in a title picture. Oh, he goofed this thing up, but then he found a way to win. Mm-hmm. And I mean, even the pop that he got yesterday when Rey said, "You're insulting Eddie Guerrero," and he said, "Keep my dad's name out of your mouth." Dominic now is at the point, and he's been at this point for a while now, but this past Monday clearly showed he has the crowd in the palm of his hand, and he knows it. And now the crowd wants this match with Rey Mysterio to the point where they want Dominic to win the match with Rey Mysterio.
Mm-hmm. For the first time.
Yes. because Ray started alluding to it. He said, like, as long as I'm here, this, and as long as I'm here, that. He made sure 3 things. There's the rule of 3 when it comes to acting and improv and wrestling. If you say the same thing 3 times, it makes it that much stronger and have that much more meaning. This is going to lead to some type of match that involves that if Ray loses, whether it's the mask or his career, it's bound to happen. Now, will it involve the Intercontinental title? Will it involve the AAA title? Will it not involve any title? Will Ray somehow cost Dominic the titles, and that leads them to have a match? Because really, that type of thing doesn't need a title.
No.
And Dominic, as great as he's been as Intercontinental Champion, I got no problem with him staying as Intercontinental Champion, but you could absolutely put him up in the main event picture now.
He can hold his own.
He can. Which is the reason why, you know, so many people have speculated that he would wrestle Cena in one of these last few matches. Maybe he would just have his own standalone match at War Games. So maybe it's a type of thing where Cena is trying to get the Intercontinental title to complete his Grand Slam. Dominic goes to cheat, and then Ray shows up to stop Dominic from cheating, causing Cena to win.
Right.
Gets the IC title to further the Dominic-Ray feud. Because now also WWE has to make a decision. Are we going to push this feud with Dominic and Ray from now to Mania and kind of hold off match with Finn Balor as they've been holding off for a long time? Do we hold off even longer? Or do we have Ray cost Dom, Judgment Day mad at Dom, Dom finally snaps, has his feud with Finn, so steps away from Ray, focuses on Finn for however long, and then goes back to Ray? Because we've already seen, obviously, Dom and Ray can jump in and out whenever they want. You kind of have that advantage when you're father-son. But I've been rambling on Dominic here because I love everything about this guy.
and the thing is,
what are you thinking?
You've been rambling about Dom, and I've been listening, and we have not even said anything about his improved in-ring ability. Right? Everything we've talked about is just the persona,
how the mic work, the
mic work. But the fact, if you check his in-ring work, he is starting to get sharp. He is hitting all of his moves. He's not a botch machine. Clean strikes. This is a guy that knows what he's doing in the ring and knows how to tell a story at such a young age. And that's why I believe that he's going to continue to excel. And yeah, the crowd sees it too. Everybody sees it. He's that young star that everybody looks at and says, yep, he has it.
He's one of those guys.
Yep, he's one of those guys. Like he's just going to continue to be what they want him to be until it gets to a point where it's undeniable. It's just like he's the biggest star in the company. You have to put the rocket behind him. So we're not there yet, but he is building his resume, and I'm very, very happy to see it because, you know, I was one of those guys. To say, I think it might be time for Dom to go to NXT for a little bit. Not a long time. He doesn't need to be down there for a year, but I do think that because at that time they weren't really using him much, and I think that him going down to NXT would have been able to help him kind of clean up his stuff in the ring and get him a little bit more sharp. But he kind of just, you know, learned. I'm sure he was backstage asking a lot of questions. There's a lot of veterans there that are helping him along the way, and he's absorbed all of that, and he's taken in the stride, and he's excelled. So, you know, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know. So you think that this is gonna be like a culmination at WrestleMania between Ray and Dom?
Okay, it really just depends on how they want to go with it because of the Finn Balor and Judgment Day situation.
Right.
So it's also tricky because let's just say, because obviously we don't know for sure, but let's just say this would lead to some type of stipulation where if Ray lost, he would leave and he would like retire. Because we know realistically Ray is close to retirement.
Yeah.
You already have Cena leaving in a little over a month from now, which is crazy to say.
All right.
We already know AJ Styles is leaving sometime in 2026.
Yeah.
So where would this fall? Because like, are you going to have Cena by, Ray by, AJ by, just boom, boom, boom? You know, us middle-aged and crazy wrestling fans like you and I don't know if we'd be able to take that. That's just too much heartache. So it's a question of where it would go. Would this be something that they decide to scrap him having a match with Cena and just do this at Survivor Series?
Right.
Would this be something that you push to the Rumble? Would this be something you would push to WrestleMania? Would this be something you just planted the seeds for right now? And then he deals and has his months-long thing with Finn and other members of Judgment Day, and then go back to it to maybe it goes all the way to Mania or even SummerSlam.
Right, because you can be able to have Ray just kind of be in the wings, and when the time is right, he strikes, he calls Dom something, and now you have your SummerSlam match, right? So yeah.
So what the best thing about this though is there are a number of ways you can go with it, and it has people like you and I guessing.
Yeah.
Because when you have people who know the product, not quite sure when and where they're going to do something, you got them.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, spot on. Listen, we're both big Dom fans, and we're gonna continue to watch as he continues to ascend and progress. Man, I'm a huge fan. There's nothing that he does that I don't like. Like, you know what I mean? He's just gold right now. So shouts to Dom. We do have a world heavyweight champion, and I am extremely.
Oh, we do. That's right.
Yeah. Extremely. There was no contest. There was no chaos that ensued at Saturday night's main event. We got a clean match, and we can briefly talk about that match, and then we can go into that match was just a microcosm of why people are so frustrated with Jey Uso. That is like if there's a match that you can just point to and say, that's why I just it's that one. Because for a guy to have the support of the front office, for the support of the fans, the merch behind him, all of this stuff, he has the song, he got the crowd, for him to look so blown up to start a match with a 45-year-old CM Punk, and he's the younger one out of the two, it just frustrates you, because it's like, they made this match the main event for a reason, because they trust you. They also trust Punk because they know what Punk does. They know how Punk is going to be able to deliver in these spots. But for him to look as lethargic and sluggish, and then botch the neck breaker, like, dude, Punk was so mad that Bret Hart kicked him. Remember when Bret Hart kicked Davey in the head? It was the same thing that CM Punk did to Jey, and it's just like, wake up! Like, what are you doing here? We are front page here. We are main event. This is where you're supposed to shine, and he didn't shine, and it made Punk look bad as well, because it's like, Punk at this stage of his career, he's a good wrestler. He can have great matches, but it really all depends on the other person in the ring too. Like, Punk can't carry a match like he could 15 years ago, 10 years ago, right? He needs somebody else to be that catalyst, to be able to help him get there. He can still tell one of the greatest stories, but you still need somebody to help you get there to tell the story. And if you have somebody in there that looks like they're blown up because the entrance has blown them up. It's like, come on now, like, what are we doing? It makes people very, very frustrated watching Jey Uso. I get frustrated watching Jey Uso, and I'm just like, yeah, this is the reason. This is the reason why.
The entrance through the crowd. There are so many great things with it, and then there are so many hindrances to it.
Yeah, it's a catch-22.
It really is, because, you know, each show is a little different depending on the size of the arena, what route he has to take, how many fans he has to get by.
Right.
Because there have been countless times that he has entered, and whether he's cutting a promo after it or doing a match after, where he has just seemed so blown up. I don't blame him for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, and people will, like, you know, try to crack jokes. I mean, I don't know if you saw Xavier Woods's Instagram post the other day.
No, I didn't see it.
But he's with Kofi in a gym where he's doing this thing of running up a steep ramp and then running downstairs, and running up a ramp and running downstairs and running up, and they're just like, oh my God, look at the cardio. Look at the cardio on this guy. And then Xavier like calls out Jay like after, and he's like, oh, I'm not even winded or something like that. I don't remember what he said, but it was just like, all right, guys that have nothing to do with the storyline,
right,
are in it. But to the point, and as we have a comment here from Nerd, I feel bad calling you Nerd, but that's what you named yourself. So thanks, Nerd. His entrance is extremely interactive. It's far more interactive because obviously you're getting the kids involved. You got the hands going. And then, like that one time, I don't know if it was spurred a moment where he did like, hey, let's do it again, because the crowd was just so hot for it. So then they ran it again. And now that's become just part of the entrance.
Right.
So now that adds a little more energy. And if you're already exhausted from that, it's like you said, it's the catch-22, because it's so fun and you get into it. And obviously kids at home and at the arena, they get into that. Everyone wants to yeet to the music. Then the music stops.
Right.
Then you got to start wrestling.
Right. And not to cut you off, but that's kind of like if Jey Uso's entrance is Daniel Bryan's entrance on steroids, right? Like Daniel Bryan didn't come through the stands, he didn't come through the crowd, but that yes chant was it had that place rocking, right? And he would make sure that he entertained guys as much as he can. As many times as he wanted to do the yes, he's doing the yes, right? But when that song stopped and those chants stopped, it was work time. And that was a guy that can be able to deliver. Like, I believe that Jay has it in him, right?
Jay has had some fantastic matches. Yes. Jay absolutely has it in him. Jey Uso has earned that nickname main event.
Right.
There have just been moments, and the issue is on very big stages of these moments where something happens.
Yeah.
And, you know, everyone has blown up that neck breaker spot.
Yeah.
And it's a type of thing where someone might be calling for something, someone might slip. There are many times during many matches, especially with Punk, where he goes for the neck breaker, then someone turns around and counters it.
Yeah.
So I'm not blaming Jay. I'm not blaming Punk. It was some miscommunication, and obviously it did not look good.
Yeah.
So it's the type of thing, though, with it is when you're put in that position, any mistake, whether it's your fault or not, any mistake is going to get exponentially blown out of proportion.
Oh, yeah. Magnified. Yep.
Right. And it's the type of thing where we almost feel and see that these things are impacting Jay. Now, if it's story reason for him to lead to a massive heel turn, but a heel turn for him to succeed, he has to be more dastardly than Roman.
Yeah.
For it to succeed. So if you're trying to go that route, you can make this work. If we're going to keep him as Yeet, main event, good times, bad times, but always comes back around with Jimmy, with Sammy, with Roman, etc., then he's not going to get back in that position where we can still call him main event. He can still wrestle in the main events, but we're not going to take him as a serious contender for the heavyweight title anymore.
Agreed. Absolutely. So that now segues into Monday Night Raw, right? So, you know, there was a tweet. I don't know if it was an Instagram post or a tweet that, remember, after Saturday night's main event, he had posted something like I can't remember.
Like the emoji of giving the middle finger.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So everybody was kind of just like, oh, all right, here we go. Right. So we get the interaction. He's there. Punk is there. And then I'm watching and I'm just like,
I'm putting my mic down for this one. I know
I'm like,
I'm just putting my mic down and watch.
You know, Punk comes out and I'm excited. I'm just, you know, I love Punk, right? I don't care what he does. I don't care what he says. Anything Punk does, I'm on it, right? And then here comes Logan Paul. And I'm like, no, don't do this. Don't do this now. No. This is not what we need now for the Build for War Games. Just don't do this. If you want to do this for Rumble, do it. Don't do it here. Just don't do it here. And I'm looking around the crowd because I always love to look at facial expressions, right? Because sometimes you hear people excited, but the facial expressions always give it away. And there was no one that was like, you had people that were just like, okay, why? Why are you here? And good on Punk to be just a good company man. He's a good sport. But Josh, it doesn't make sense. I don't like this at all. Like, I know that we do a positive show. You be positive. I'm not going to be positive today because I don't want Logan Paul anywhere near the main event scene next to Punk. I don't want him anywhere near War Games. I don't want him anywhere near anything. This is a Triple H special. If you ever had called it, in case of emergency, break the Logan Paul glass. I don't want it. I don't want it because no one does. No one does. He's a good wrestler. He's a good heel. People hate him, but he doesn't belong in this particular spot. He just doesn't. He doesn't.
So just to clarify what you're saying, someone came out who you're not a fan of in the title picture, and it made you feel anger.
It's not anger because he gives me he gives off that reaction. I don't think he belongs in that spot. It's not the fact that his character is what he doesn't belong in that spot. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't belong there.
Who got the loudest boos on Raw?
Him, because people really hate him.
Which is what you want in a main event heel. Logan Paul, as crazy as it sounds, is good for wrestling.
Ah, come on.
I know you don't like hearing that, but you have to understand why. The purpose of wrestling, the purpose of WWE wrestling specifically, is to get eyes on the product. Whether it's celebrities, whether it's guys who seem to dislike and hate authority and will flip the middle finger, drink beer, etc. or for the opportunity of wanting to punch someone in the face so badly that you will tune in to make sure he gets what's due to him. And Logan Paul, whether you like him or you don't, gets the Dominic type boo heat that we talked about, how, you know, when Dom really started flourishing as a heel.
The go away heat.
The go away heat. Logan has that now. You could not really hear what he was saying. And Punk was egging it on because Punk is having a blast with that moment. He was like, oh, no, not this guy. No, go away. We don't want you. We don't want you. Exactly. They don't want him, which is why then you put him on to anger them. So then when they get his hands on him, oh, now we're going to be thrilled because now you're going to get your ass kicked. On top of that, I'm almost angry that he's as good of a wrestler as he is.
He's really good.
He's incredible in the ring. He has continued to improve on the microphone. You also are missing the caveat of, hey, Seth Rollins is hurt and we have War Games and we need to get someone else in there that has the physical abilities similar to Seth Rollins, because they were planning something with him, who also can get the crowd angry at him the way they were angry at Rollins with his feud with Punk. Now, the partnership or alliance per se with Logan Paul handing the brass knuckles to Paul Heyman and them kind of being okay, even though 2 hours prior they beat the crap out of him, trying to figure out what that's all going to mean.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like it. It felt junky.
I had no problem with him handing the brass knuckles to Paul. My problem was then all of a sudden Braun and Bronson kind of like, oh, cool, all right.
Right.
And it's kind of like, no, there should just still could have been like, we're not sure what's up here. But, you know, we're holding off because Paul's telling us to hold off. But now Logan is going to be, they're going to have a War Games match. They're still going to have this match. It's going to have Braun and Bronson and Logan and maybe Brock, maybe Drew. Who knows how else they're going to throw it in, if it's just going to be exclusive to Raw or what.
Right.
So this is going to lead for them having a War Games match. And then it's really up to them. Do we go Logan and Punk, or do we transition to Braun and Punk? Or who does Punk actually face next? Because Logan Paul is not going to turn face anytime soon.
No, nor should he.
Nor should he. Because he's that good at being a heel. The crowd, as much as this might surprise you, would love to see Paul Heyman align with Logan Paul and turn on Braun Breaker. Because the crowd loves Braun Breaker.
Yeah. He's gonna get that Batista treatment soon. Like, you know what I mean? Like the people are gonna want to see him go the other way. You know what I mean?
But Logan Paul is good for wrestling. I know it's.
I hate that you're right.
Line to say.
I hate that you're right. That's what it is. I hate that you're right. All right. I hate that you're right. I just want to be in my feelings today, but I hate that you're right.
Now, I mean, if I had it my way, I wouldn't necessarily always have the Prime bottle sitting ringside every damn show, but that also adds to us wanting to hate him.
Yeah.
Because his product is there, whether he's even on the show or not. That makes us think of him. That makes us annoyed with him. That makes us, oh, I can't stand Logan Paul. If he was here right now, I would super kick him. Oh, damn it, he's here. Who's in the ring? Hey, whoever it is, beat him up, please. And then Logan finds a way to squirm his way to a win or something like that. We're just like, oh, now we're even more angry.
Yeah.
Good. You should be angry at wrestlers. Then you will cheer for wrestlers. What I do in indies as a manager, the whole purpose of me is to make people so angry and so annoyed that if the babyface opponent gets his hands on me, it's an extremely loud pop. Not a pop for me, but a pop for the fact of we hate this guy so much. Thank you for representing us and taking him out. Likewise, anyone that I associate myself with, we have to hate this guy,
right?
Because he likes this guy,
the antagonist,
right? I manage a guy who's legitimately 7 feet named Alex Ace. Fans love to see him because his nickname is the Anomaly, and because it's not every day at an independent show you see a 7-foot wrestler.
Right.
So at shows that he might work that I'm not there, he's typically booked as a babyface because the crowd will just cheer him because it looks so good and he's so good in the ring, and he has that. But then on shows where I'm there, crowd might cheer him for a split second. Then they hear me and then they see me and they're like, oh, no, we can't stand Alex Ace because he is okay with this really annoying guy who is very loud and very irritating. I don't care who comes out of that curtain next. I'm cheering for him. That's exactly what Logan Paul's doing. And that's why he is, I mean, when he shows up, he's a top heel on Raw.
Listen, I hate that you're right because you are. But just allow me.
Thank you for boosting the ego. I appreciate that.
Just allow me to vent. Okay. Now, all right. So we got Logan Paul pseudo in the Vision because we don't know if he's actually in the Vision or it's just for War Games, right? With his addition, what do you see the other side of it looking like? Because okay, we have 3 guys locked in. We got the Bronze, we have Logan Paul. Mm-hmm. Who do you see as locks? The other 2 guys. We're not if we don't even build it out 4-on-4 or 5-on-5. Who are at least the other 2 guys that you believe are locks to be on Punk's team?
Well, as far as Punk's team, you will have Jimmy and Jay.
Okay, so you believe that they're locks?
I think they are a lock. The question is going to be if it's a 4-on-4 War Games match.
Right.
The question then will be, will number 4 be Roman Reigns
and Brock Lesnar?
Will those be the 2 number 4s? Or will Roman not be there and have number 4 be LA Knight? If there's 5-on-5, then you're going to have both of them.
Right. Because I mean, to be honest with you, both guys, I think LA Knight for the story makes a lot more sense, right? Because he's for
the story with Punk, it makes more sense.
Right. That's what yeah.
The interesting thing will be the storyline is going to be centered more around Jay than Punk, even though Punk's going to be the leader of the team.
Right.
In that case, it makes more sense for Roman to be the other guy. Now, if it's 5-on-5 and you got both of them, well, that's even better. Because now you got all different animosities, angers, frustrations involved with Jay, with Jimmy, with Punk, etc. So the story is going to be, can Punk's team, coexist, and how is Jay really going to be? And then you have the team of Heyman's boys. Can they trust Logan? And if there is a 5th guy, who is the 5th man? And again, if you want to turn heads and have, a swerve or surprise, how about Obafemi?
Oh my goodness, could you imagine?
Why can't OFME be a Paul Heyman guy?
My goodness, yeah, yeah, yeah. Just a team of monsters,
right? A team of monsters and Logan Paul.
and
Logan Paul is the one that everyone hates the most, and he's surrounded by these monsters.
Right.
So it works. It works. It works. It works.
Obafemi is such a nice baby face. I would hate to see him be a heel.
I mean, he can certainly do both.
He can. I mean, he's just so joyful. I just love to see him be a face. But it makes sense. It makes sense.
I mean, with Oba, you either have to put him in this Cena tournament or have him have a shocking type of debut, like at War Games.
Right. Interesting. Yeah, I would rather it be 5-on-5 just to make sure that you're getting a lot more dynamic storytelling because there's so much infighting with the 5.
Yep.
Right. You put LA Knight in there. He hates everybody in there. Right. You put Roman in there. He's now needling Jay. Jay doesn't know what to do. He's frustrated because Punk's champion now. And now he has Jimmy there. He has Roman. There's so many different pieces to the puzzle there. And then also you got on the other side where, Braun doesn't trust Logan. The Brawns don't trust Logan. They might be looking at Brock Lesnar like, why is he here? We know that he's a Heyman guy, but now Braun Breaker feels a lot less like he feels like more intimidated or paranoid. Like, is that your guy or am I your guy? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and so leads to him turning face.
Right. So there's a lot more. So that's why we need the 5-on-5. So I hope that that's where we fall. And I'm sure that's where we're going to fall. But, we'll see how the storyline plays out. You have eased my frustration because I understand it. Like he's like, as much as I'm looking at him like, I never want to see Logan Paul in the main event scene. He's so good in the ring that it's just like his talent deserves to be in the main event scene. But I hate to hear him speak. It's so bad.
He will be champion at some point.
Come on.
I don't know.
Come on.
I'm not saying he's going to be the one to dethrone Punk. I don't know that. Logan Paul is the perfect Money in the Bank holder right now.
He is. Yes, he is. 100%. 100%.
So he could be in this feud with Punk, lose, and that will bring extreme delight to the crowd. And all of a sudden he has that briefcase and everyone is going to be dreading anytime the champion is on TV because they're worried, are we going to have to see?
Right. Is the weasel coming?
Which is what you want.
Yeah.
When it comes to the business side.
Yes.
Of getting the fans hooked for someone that you hate.
Right.
Logan is going to be champion sooner rather than later.
That's going to be very, very hard for me to cover. I'm not going to lie to you. Man, oh man. But yeah, very, very interesting Raw. I'm curious to see what happens on SmackDown, to the fact that Cody is still champion. What happens with Drew? Like, people, at this point, it's like, where now? Where are we going? Where to, boss? Like, where are we going? You know what I mean? So if you're not going to put the belt on Drew, then at some point, are we going to get Homelander Cody Rhodes? Is that what we're going to get? Like, I don't know. I just don't know what's left. I just don't know. And I'm curious. Listen, I am one of these people that I don't have the answers. But if there's something on the pipeline, there's something in the background that we're not seeing, that they are building, hey, then I'm along for the ride. I'm okay with that. I am not going to be too overly critical because I like Cody. I think he's just great for the business. So they want to keep the strap on him for as long as they want to keep it on, cool. but we also need to find ways to start developing a lot more young talent on SmackDown as well as Raw. And we need to see these new collection of guys. I need to see Trick Williams at some point. I need to see Obafemi. I need to see, Carmelo Hayes start to get more of a push. We talked about that last week. So we'll see. We'll see. But I just feel terrible for Drew because he's so good and he deserves better. And in a landscape where you have a lot of stars, some guys are going to have to kind of play the utility guy for a little while and until they be able to get their time in the sun. So, Seth Rollins had to do it for a while. He was doing jobs for people. And then all of a sudden he got his back end promise and he was the man again. So maybe Drew is kind of doing that because he deserves another run. And I think his next run with the championship will probably be his best run with the championship just because of the mind state and where he is in his career and how good he's been. So that is those are my closing words.
I mean, I agree with you, wholeheartedly with that. They're going to have at least one more match with Drew and Cody at Survivor Series with some other stipulation because Cody kind of did cheat.
Yes.
So Drew, while he always complains, again, it's following his story of he's always speaking the truth, even though he's complaining, and that's going to continue with it.
Right.
And I think this will be one where, like, even Nick Aldis is going to be like, God, I hate you so much, Drew, but you're right.
You're right. Right.
So we do have to give you one more opportunity. And if he loses that one,
I don't think you're going to hear a bigger pop in the building. And if Drew beats Cody, people are going to lose their minds because they're like, thank you. This is what we wanted, even if it's for a little bit.
Especially if it's due to Randy.
Yeah,
they finally have the Randy Cody feud that they've been begging for like 2 years now.
That's what I want to see. If it's not Punk Cody at Mania, then I need to see Cody and Orton at Mania. That's what I need.
But if you need to see Cody and Orton, will the title be involved?
I don't think it needs to because the story is already there. Pupil, legacy, all of this stuff. He's, they've been such close friends. He looks up to him like it's all baked in the cake. And we've seen, and they've done such a good job with this, that every time Randy helps Cody, he looks at that championship.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time, if they're in the ring together, he'll glance over at that championship. He puts his hand up. He's looking at that championship. The championship is laying on the floor. He will glance over to that champ. So Randy is constantly saying, this is my guy. He's my little brother. I love him. But I also do love that championship belt. And I might have to start looking at him differently if I want that back. And that's the story.
Right. So your story just described it for the title.
Yeah.
Where a minute ago you said they don't need it.
But without the title, that's the one part with the title. Without the title, it's the story of you got, like, I've been here for so long. I've been the flag bearer for this company. I've been Mr. Company guy. Yeah, I've had my ups and downs, but I've never left. And you left and you came back here and they welcomed you with open arms and they put the battery behind you. They put the rocket behind you and they treat me like this nostalgia act where I don't necessarily need something. Like, no. It's about me and it's always been about me. That's the story, is that I'm Randy Orton. You've always been little Cody. And that's where we're going to keep it. You'll never be better than me. That's the story. That's the story right there for Randy.
I agree. Obviously, the story is definitely there. To your point, it's all about, what have you been doing for me lately?
Yeah.
And every time we see them, he is staring at that title. So your breakdown of this has convinced me that Cody will win at Survivor Series.
Just to have the title of Mania. Yeah.
Yeah, just so the feud with Randy will involve the title.
Right.
And Drew will have to lose that match and then just go off TV for a while.
Yeah. There's a feud out there for Drew. Obviously, we talked about him and Jacob, right? Like that's still something that remains something out there that can be very, very box office. So if that's where they're going with it, that's fine. This is just kind of like a holdover storyline for Drew until we can really like untap that, because they can have some banger matches and really, really tear the roof off. So if that's where they're going. That's where they're going. There's a lot of good intrigue, a lot of stuff. If they do it the right way, if they're doing it like how we're talking about it, listen, all right. If whoever's listening, just take this and just run with it. We won't even try to argue with it. We're not gonna try to come after you and sue. Just take it. It's fine. It's out there. Use it. But at least we know where it came from.
I want to get paid. No. Those of you listening, take his stuff. Pay me for mine.
Yeah, don't listen to Barry. Just pay me for my knowledge.
Pay me, and then Barry can be happy.
I'm happy either way. I would love for you to do that. Josh, this was fun always, man. Next week, I'm sure we'll have something interesting to talk about once Friday Night SmackDown comes to a close, and there's some other stuff that happens. We have Raw. So, until next week, do you have any closing words for the people?
Oh, closing words for the people. Enjoy wrestling. That's always going to be like my closing words. Enjoy wrestling, because I know people can complain and moan and whine about this or that. You're never going to love every single thing that you see on TV, but you always have to appreciate what they are trying to do on TV and on the indies. So continue to love wrestling and continue to support wrestling, however you define that. There you go. There's my parting words.
Such nice words. You're such a nice person.
I'm such a nice person until you see me in gimmick at a wrestling show.
Then you're like, oh, that's my guy. I like him. I like this guy.
Then you want me to get punched in the face, and I'm doing my job.
Exactly. You're doing your job. So until next week, everybody, stay safe, stay cool. Peace.